my name is Kate. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today I wanted to take a moment to share my coloring goals for 2026 with all of you. So I've got some goals related to kind of improving my coloring technique and improving my skills. And then I've also got another set of goals that are more statistics related, numbers related, just to have something a little bit more measurable to help kind of motivate me throughout the year. So I am excited to share all those plans with you today. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. Some of the goals that I have for 2026 are the same or carrying over from 2025. So the first one that I've got is to have no untouched books left in my collection. At the moment, as we're just finishing up 2025 and entering into 2026, I do still have a few more untouched books in my collection, and I know I will not get to them by the end of the year, and that's absolutely fine. Again, this is just a goal more to help me be a little bit more mindful about how much I buy and which books I bring into my collection. But by the end of 2026, I do hope that I can get to colour in all of those books, as well as any new books that I might buy throughout the year. I am also getting to a point with my colouring collection now where I'm starting to feel that it's enough. I have enough books. I have a good selection of artists and a good selection of topics. And of course, I know that my collection is still relatively small compared to a lot of people, but I feel that for me, I've hit a good number. So I want to really be conscious about what I buy over the next year and try not to bring too many new books into my collection. So the second goal I have is to try to color at least one page in every book I own. So if you've been following my channel or if you follow me over on Instagram, you might know that this year I ran the challenge #NoBookLeftUntouched25, which was about trying to colour in all of my books in the year of 2025. I will be carrying this challenge over into the new year with a new hashtag #NoBookLeftUntouched26. So if you would like to join in with that, do stay tuned because I will be making an announcement video probably in the last week of the year. In that video, I will also be sharing all the posts of everyone who has taken part in my hashtag this year. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, do make sure you subscribe so you won't miss that when that comes out. The third goal is a new goal for this year, and it is to try to have no long-term whips left at the end of 2026. I currently have 2 long-term whips in my collection, so again, it's quite a small amount, but I guess this goal is also for trying to help me avoid creating more long-term whips as well throughout the year. Goal number 4 is another one that I'm carrying over from this year, and it is not a very strict goal, but it is to aim to complete at least 2 randomly generated prompts per month. I will talk a little bit more about this in my next video as well. So if you're interested in hearing more about my prompts, finding out about my new prompts that I've added to my list for 2026, do stay tuned for my next video. Goal number 5 is another fun one. It is to try to do buddy colors monthly. Again, just like with the past goal, it's more just, to help myself keep motivated. I love doing buddy colors and I love meeting new people. And I won't be, super strict with myself. Like if there is a month that I don't have any buddy colors, that's absolutely fine. But I would like to try to make sure I have buddies for most months. It helps me meet new people, make new friends, and I think it is such a great way to engage with the coloring community. Goal number 6 is all about improving my coloring technique and my skills as a colorist. I want to attempt to either do a color along or watch tutorials on a specific topic for at least one of the pages that I complete each month. Again, it's not a super strict goal. It doesn't have to be, 1 per month. Sometimes it might be 2 in 1 month and then none in the next month, and that is absolutely fine. But I do want to make sure that I take some active steps to try to improve my coloring skills, because I feel like I've kind of reached the limit of where I can go without some kind of input, whether again that's color alongs or tutorials. remains to still be seen, and I'm very excited to take these active steps to try to improve my coloring. Some of the topics that I am very interested in, working on this year are things like light sources, metals, water, fur and hair, coloring skin, and coloring crystals, which is one that I am particularly excited about. I would also like to improve or learn some techniques for coloring snow for my winter pages and improve, like my background coloring techniques and things like that. So there are lots and lots of things that I would like to improve. And I'm excited to see how my coloring skills will improve and grow over the year of 2026. So for goal number 7, I'm doing something a little bit different this year. For 2025, I selected a project book and I thought I will color in this book every month for the first half of the year, and then I might keep going or I might change it up at that, half year mark, depending on how it's all going. But what I found was that doing a project book made me feel kind of burnt out. In fact, I've got my project book for the year of 2025 right here. I chose Moon Valley because it was and still is one of my favorite books in my collection. It has a good, variety of pages and a good variety of themes. And I colored quite a lot of pages in this book this year. But what I found was that I started out really motivated and I really wanted to color in this book. But as the months progressed, by the time we got to maybe around like April, May, I started to feel a little bit bored of this book. And every time, it was time to color in it, I started to feel like, I don't really want to color this page. And that's not how I want to feel about my coloring, because it's supposed to be, a fun hobby, and it's not supposed to feel like a chore. I do want to add in just the fact that I have colored in this book since I stopped using it as a project book at that half year mark. And I am back in love with this book and I'm really enjoying the pages that I'm coloring from it again. But for 2026, I decided to do something a little bit different. Again, just to avoid that kind of burnout that I felt and make sure that I keep it a little bit fresh, I guess. So for 2026, I decided to choose my top 10 pages to color. I will be using randomized prompts and selecting pages from 10 different books in my collection. And I will be doing this in my next video that's coming up on Tuesday next week. So again, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. I think it will be a lot of fun. We will spin the wheel to select some prompts and then I will show you which pages I select based on those prompts. Hopefully some of them will be related to the things that I want to improve this year, so maybe I can apply some skills that I learned in the tutorials and things that I would like to watch and learn from this year as well. It would be great to be able to combine the two. Then, to make sure that I spread my love across different books in my collection again, I wanted to try a new project, and I called it 5 from 5. So I've chosen 5 focus artists from whom I've got more than one book in my collection, and I would like to color 5 pages from each of those artists and illustrators' work. Because these are also illustrators that I own more than one book from, I feel that this is a good way to help prevent it from feeling so stagnant. So the 5 illustrators I've chosen is Erie. I've got 2 of her romantic country books and I'm really excited to get more coloring done in them. I brought 1 book from each illustrator here just to show you whilst I'm talking about it. So I'm not showing you all the books that I've got from them, just 1 from each. And yeah, I've colored quite a lot in this first Romantic Country book, but I haven't really colored a whole lot in Romantic Country 3. That is my other one. So I'm excited to get more Airy pages colored this year. Next up, I chose Camilla Derrico. Again, I've got 2 of her books in my collection. Catitude is the only one that I've colored in so far, and it's my favorite one of her books. So I imagine that most of my 5 pages might be from this book. But again, I have got another one as well, leaving it a little bit more open in case I want to color some different themes and topics throughout the year. Next up, I chose Maria Trolle because even though I was feeling very sick of Moon Valley when I was having it as my project book, I do love her illustrations and I love coloring in her books. The paper is so good, the illustrations are so fun. And again, I would love to see this book fill up even more. That's why I chose it as my project book that first time around. Still so many fun pages left to color. And I've now also got her Christmas book that I want to make sure I color in next year as well. Then next up is Lulu Mayo. I've got 4 of her books. So actually, if I do manage to color, one book in one page in every book that I own, that would already be, 4 out of the 5 pages for this goal completed. I again love her illustrations. They're so whimsical and so fun. And I am really excited to color more in my Lulu Mayo books this year. Then the final artist I selected is Stratton Peterson. I've now got 4 of her books as well, making her one of the most represented illustrators in my collection. But I've not colored in any of them yet. In fact, let me move these other books out of the way. This is the only book of hers that I have started coloring in, and I'm working on this home charm page. I do hope that I can finish it up by the end of December because it feels quite wintry and Christmassy to me. But again, if I don't, that is absolutely fine. I can finish it in the new year as well. I love Stratton Peterson's illustration style. And again, I'm hoping that this goal will help me dive into all of her books that I purchased because I'm so excited to color in them. I just feel a little bit intimidated because they are so beautiful and so gorgeous. But yeah, those were my 5 focus artists for the year. So now we will move into, the more statistics related goals. Of course, the top 10 pages and top 5 illustrators are also very measurable goals. But carrying on from there, I would also like to complete at least 6 double page spreads. Going into 2025, I still hadn't completed any double page spreads in my collection yet. So I set a goal of doing 3, which I managed to achieve quite easily. So this year, I don't want to aim for 1 per month because I think that's too many, but 1 every 2 months sounds like a good number. So at least 6 double page spreads. The next goal is to color at least 1 nameplate page and at least 1 title page. These are pages in my books that I tend to overlook a little bit and that I don't tend to feel as inspired by. I had this same goal last year and I thought it was quite nice in helping to motivate me to color, the title pages, the nameplate pages, and so on. So I want to carry it over into the next year and try doing that again this year. As I'm progressing in my coloring journey, I would also like to make sure that I keep filling up books with the aim of, having some books that I can eventually complete. So with that in mind, I decided that I would like to complete at least 10% out of 15 different books in my collection. Currently, I have 7 books that are completed to at least 10% or more. So doubling that in 2026 sounds like a good goal. I would also like to complete 4 books to at least 25% completion. Again, aiming towards hopefully being able to, complete some books in the next few years. At the moment, I don't have any books that are, 1/4 complete. So hopefully I can build up towards that over the course of the year. I would also like to color at least 80 pages. But again, this goal is just to have something measurable to work towards. So if it doesn't happen, that's okay. This year, I set my goal at 70 pages and I'm currently at about, I think, 81 or 82 completed pages as I'm filming this. So I thought keeping up a similar number over the course of the next year sounds good. So those were all my goals for 2026 related to my coloring, to improving my skills. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel by making sure that, my videos can reach more people. I would also love to hear from you down in the comments. Do you have any coloring goals for 2026? If so, what are they? I'm really excited to hear what you will be working on. If you would like to see more videos from me, such as, for example, that top 10 pages to color in 2026 video, and get more information about my hashtag notebook left untouched 26, do make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the little bell so you will get notified when these videos are up. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!